Graph the function f of x equals 2/3 x minus 5. Now, if you watch all my videos, and I pray that you do, and if you watch this in order, you would have seen me do two problems very similar to this before this one right here. And in both cases, what I did is I made myself a nice 3-column table. Okay, I called the first column my x values. The middle column is going to be f of x equals the equation that I have, the function that I have. And my third column is going to be the points that I get after I choose my x's, plug stuff in, and get a value. This is where it differs from the last two videos. The last two videos, the number in front of x was not a fraction. Now the number in front of x is a fraction. So what I did in the last two videos is I just chose a bunch of x's based off of whatever I felt like using. I chose -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. I did that for both of those videos. I'm not going to do that here. Why? Because if I were to choose a number like -1, I'm going to get another fraction, and -5 is not going to be pretty, and I really do not want to graph an equation where I have fractions as dots. I don't want to do it. So here's a trick. Here's a trick. When you choose your x values to plug in, if you have a fraction, use multiples of 3. What's multiples of 3? 3, 6, 9. Darn girl fine. Sock it to me. One more time, get low. Remember that song? Anyway, choose those. I'm not going to choose exactly those because I like to do some negatives. So what I'm going to choose is -6, -3, 0, 3, and 6. And by choosing multiples of 3, I'm not going to have to deal with fractions. So step number 2 is I'm going to use these numbers right here and plug them in. By the way, I wouldn't want to plug these numbers in anyway because those numbers aren't even on the coordinate plane. So, yeah. All right. Now let's plug in these numbers. F of -6. When you plug in a number for x, you replace the x with parentheses that number. So 2/3 times parentheses -6 minus 5. Okay, so 2/3 of -6 is -4. -4 minus 5 is -9. You might be thinking, whoa. You just said how you're not going to use 9 because that number is too big. And look, you got -9. So how in the world are you going to get the point -6, -9 on the graph? I won't. Now, I can kind of force it, but I won't. Sometimes when you do problems like these, you're going to realize that one of the points that you chose or one of the x values that you chose is just simply not going to work. And this is going to be one of them. Okay, so let's keep going. F of -3 means I'm going to replace every x value with -3 in parentheses. 2/3 of -3 is -2. So I have -2 minus 5 is going to equal -7. Now I can graph the point -3, -7. That's fine. And now it seems like we're going to be on the good track. If I plug in 0, that's f of 0 equals 2/3 times 0 minus 5. 2/3 of 0 is 0. 0 minus 5 is -5. And that gives me 0, -5. If I plug in 3, that's f of 3. 2/3 of 3 minus 5. 2/3 of 3 is 2. 2 minus 5 is -3. And that gives me the point 3, -3. If I plug in 6, I get 2/3 of 6. Oh, minus 5. Oh boy. After all that work, having to make a mistake there would have been a bad idea. Minus 5. 2/3 of 6 is 4. 4 minus 5 is -1. And that gives me the point 6, -1. So now I have 4 points that I can graph. The first point didn't work out, no big deal. If I wanted to graph -3, -7, I start at 0, 0. -3 is left, -7 is down. So left 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's my point. 0, -5. So let me choose a different color. 0 means don't move. -5 means down 5. So 0 means don't move. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a dot there. 3, -3 means start at 0, 0. Go right 3, down 3. Right 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3. Put a dot there. And last but not least, we have 6, -1. So that's right 6, down 1, right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down 1. There you have it. Now, what I have are 4 dots that appear to be in a straight line. If you're graphing a function, you are connecting those dots. So let me go over here, pull up a line. That's what you're seeing pop up on the left. And I'm going to take that line and connect the dots. Now, again, if you watch all my videos, and I pray that you do, you will realize that if I were to connect the dots and leave it like that, you're wrong. Because these are the points that I got based off of the x's that I chose. If I were to only choose like -3, 0, and 3, should I just connect these 3 dots? No. What you would do is if you had a piece of paper, you would take a ruler and you would just kind of keep that line going and keep the pattern going like that on both ends, and you would try to, have your line, you would try to have your line cover the entire coordinate plane like I just did. You draw your arrowheads because by drawing arrowheads, you are saying this line goes on forever. So if this coordinate plane was a little bit bigger and I could fit -6, -9, it would go through that dot right there if the coordinate plane was bigger. All right, so that's how you graph a function. You pick out x values, you graph the points that do work out, you connect the dots, cover the whole thing. Dunzo, funzo, functions complete.